Hello guys. So doing a this way video instead of a that way video today. I got used to doing it on portrait for the Facebook videos and stuff. But yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to have a chill day. Today was supposed to be a payday with Universal Credit. But yeah, like it's not now. And it looks like my paydays have been messed up again now. So basically what's happened is they put something on my Universal Credit to-do list that I was supposed to update. So basically, because in April's when the start of the new tax year is, when the start of the new financial year is. So that's why all the benefit systems and all the utility bill systems and whatever start changing and doing all sorts of funky stuff that confuses the heck out of us. And basically that's what's been happening. And because our our rent has changed, we have to update it with UC. Now UC put it on my to-do list to do that, and then what they're supposed to do is send me a text and an email alert to tell me that they've put something on my to-do list, so that then I can log in to my UC account and I can do whatever it is that needs to be done on the to-do list. But yeah, they failed to send out a text alert and an email alert to both me and John, because John is on my claim as well. We're on a joint claim. So basically he should get alerts as well to log in and sort out the to-do list. But he didn't get any alerts either. So we had no clue that they had put the rent thingy on the to-do list. And today I was like, great, we're going to get paid today. So I woke up this morning to get ready to start doing everything I need to do, pay all the bills, make sure I get groceries, do all the stuff that we need to do every payday. And there's no money in my bank account. And I'm like, what's happened here? So I'm like, right, okay. Logged into UC to find out what was going on. And there it was on the to-do list, the rent thingy. And I was like, oh, wait, what? So basically, because I hadn't done that on the to-do list, they delayed my payment. So now I don't get paid till the end of the week. So now I've got to wait a few days. Luckily, John had a bit of his carer's allowance left in his bank. So anything that we needed, he's just ordered with the last of his money. So yeah, both me and John are broke now until the end of the week. Luckily, as well, with our electric company, because our electric meter was beeping earlier, saying that it was low. And I was like, oh, great, now because we've got no money, because we haven't been paid UC, we won't be able to put any electric on. And we're going to run out of electric and be sat here all week with no money, no electric, But luckily my electric company has the saver wallet. So every time you top up, because I'm on like a pay-as-you-go thing, so every time I top up my electric meter, it online, it gives me the choice to put a little money into the savings. So we do that every time we top up. We put a little bit in the savings as well, so that when we have those times when we have run out of money, or our benefits don't get paid for some reason, we have that safety net built up in our electric savings, so that we can just dip into that and take money out of that and put onto our electric meter. I do recommend companies like that. What's our electric company? I can't remember who I'm with at the moment. John,
Yes.
what electric company are we with? I've totally blanked on it.
Utilita.
Utilita. There we go. I'm with Utilita. And they are really good. You can top up via an app on your phone. And they have the savings wallet and everything. I do recommend them. They are a little bit pricier than some of the others in the area, but I don't mind it being a little pricier if I'm going to get good service, if I'm able to top up via an app. So then I don't have to make trips to the shop. Because mobility wise, I can't always just drop everything and, you know, run up the shop to put some money on the electric, you know. So it's a lot easier doing it with an app. And then, of course, with the savings wallet as well, is a massive help. It always adds that little bit of a safety net. So I definitely recommend them. Um, but yeah, so we're good for the next week. So I guess me and John should be proud of ourselves in a way that we have managed to build up those safety nets, and we've managed to um, keep things organised. We don't have any debts or anything that we need to pay. It's just our money's been delayed for a few days, and you know, but this morning when I woke up and realised there was no money in my account, it was like anxiety through the roof, you know, and it is so annoying that something like the benefit system, you know, that with they offer things like text alerts and email alerts, and then when they fail to send those out, it messes hundreds of people up. You know, there's probably loads of people that haven't got a text alert about this thing and are having the same issue I'm having, you know. It's annoying. And now I'm worried that all my paydays from now on are going to be messed up. So now I'm going to be getting paid at the end of the week rather than the beginning of the week. So it's going to mess up all my payments and like all my bills, because all my direct debits are set to go out on certain days of the week. And those days of the week is payday. Now payday's moved again, those direct debits are gonna try and go out, and there's gonna be no money in my account. So it's just a whole heap of mess and anxiety, you know, and I don't know how they expect disabled people like me, people with mental health issues, people with learning difficulties, um, you know, people who are learning disabled, people who are physically disabled. You know, I don't know how they expect those kinds of people to cope on a system like universal credit, you know, when we've got to log on and at first trying to remember your login details, you know. Luckily, John's quite organised and John's written everything important down in like an important book so that when we need to log into stuff, he's like, right, I'm here with the magic book, I can do it, you know. Because he, with his neurodivergence, he likes to make lists and he likes to be organised and he likes to write things down and make sure he's got a hard copy of it somewhere, you know, for his own record so he can go back and look later when he needs to. You know, it's handy having someone like that dealing with all of this stuff because I'm no good. I make lists in my head, right, of important stuff. Then that list will get lost until I need to remember it, and then I'm like, now what was it? And then I'm sat there for hours racking my brains trying to think of it, and then just end up changing my password anyway. Again, you know. So it's handy having someone who is good with the paperwork and the lists, you know. But so I don't know how they expect us to cope on a system like that, especially when they fail to send out the alerts, you know. Because I don't know about anyone else, but I don't need to keep a check of my UC account every week because I am signed off unable to work due to disability. I don't need to do any job search or anything like that. So I don't need to be going on every week and whatnot. So it gets pushed to the back of my mind and I forget until payday rolls round and I don't get paid. Then I'm like, oh, hang on a minute, what's going on? I better log on to UC and check, you know? So if they're not going to send those alerts, then it's going to affect loads of disabled people, you know? And we don't have the good mental health to be going through this every other week, you know, every time a change happens, you know. And then the whole thing of you got to declare everything, and then it's like, what things do we declare, you know? Obviously you got to declare if you're making extra money, if you are working, you got to declare how many hours you're working and everything like that. You've got to declare any changes of address. You've got to declare, you know, there's so much stuff you've got to declare, and logging on to do that every time a change happens is hard enough for people with disabilities, you know. It's hard enough for people with learning difficulties, you know. And like, oh, it's stressful. I get why they're trying to make people accountable, you know, and I get they're trying to get the lazy people to have more control over their own finances and over their own accounts. And then, of course, if they don't log on, if they fail to do their part, then they don't get paid. Their payment gets delayed. So then they're more likely to do their part next time to avoid that. I get that whole system. I get where they're going with it. It's kind of like a reward system or a punishment and reward. You know, if you do good, your reward is you get paid. If you don't do good, your reward is you don't get paid. You know, which is the same as the working environment. If you don't show up to work and do your job, you don't get paid. You know, I get where they're going with it, and that's great. But that doesn't work for disabled people. That doesn't work for people with learning difficulties, for people with mobility issues. You know, we struggle to keep up with it. And we're going to struggle even harder if you don't send these text alerts and email alerts when you should be sending them. You know, DWP needs to pull their finger out with this one. You know, if you're getting rid of ESA and chucking us all into universal credit, you need to sort it out so that it's easier for disabled people to navigate it. John, someone's at the door. But yeah, I think I'm going to end this video here because it looks like we might have a guest. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I shall see you later. Bye-bye.